thoughts that Subhranshu you have, but Nigam, to start off with it, what are some parameters that you choose to enter these cities? Because you have a reputation of spotting the right city, at the right time, making the right investments. So can you walk us through what are your thoughts on these?
See, our first mall was in Aurangabad. I mean, that was the first city we entered. Coimbatore also happened. At that point of time, we were not aware what we were going to do in Coimbatore. But Aurangabad gave us a lot of learning experience. In terms of, we realized that the cities, all cities in India are emerging. And if you have a product which is right, then I think you have won 50% of the game. And that's why we emphasized on the product, which is ground plus one. 2,000 plus car parks in Aurangabad, selected the best anchors, created a very dominant center. What I mean by dominance is that we created such a center that nobody else wants to come in Aurangabad today, because they said they have the parking, they have the anchors, they have the ground plus one, so, and they have all the anchors, which are India's best anchors. So why would we want to come in that particular city? So by creating a very dominant product, I guess you could make sure that the competition doesn't come in. And apart from that, after creating a dominant center, we realized that we need a very good mix of local as well as national retailers. In Aurangabad, we were late to understand that. Now, after 3 years, we've started getting in a lot of traditional local players from Pune and from Aurangabad. And we realized that mall is all about patience, and we don't want to do the same mistake that we did in Aurangabad, and that's why we are working here to create a very good mix of national as well as traditional players.
Subbu, you have taken a brand which is traditionally very strong, and you've gone on an expansion spree. You spotted a lot of opportunities, and you've been growing very rapidly. So do you agree with his arguments? How do you go about it? How do you go about spotting these opportunities?
I think, Vanakkam and good afternoon to all of you. I think I thank Rai for giving this opportunity for us to put our views across. Yeah, I think I would largely agree. And I think like most businessmen or entrepreneurial minds, we will always put our money where we are likely to get good, I would say, response, if not at a given point in time, but over a period of time. So I think I would largely agree with the point of view that has been expressed. I would also add that each brand will need to look at its own areas of strength, familiarity, and then try and see how that can be milked further. For instance, if you look at the example of RMKV Silks, like most of you would know, that it has its roots in Tirunelveli, Tamil Nadu. So it's been a familiar brand in this part of the country. So it was very natural for us to sort of, milk that or build on that particular familiarity in each city. But yet it was very important for us to analyze and understand why a particular city and why not another city, because you've got plenty of promising cities in Tamil Nadu. Why Coimbatore and why not, say, another city? So for that, one needs to understand the opportunities that a city offers. For instance, our own understanding that Coimbatore is not Coimbatore itself. Coimbatore actually caters to a whole host of markets in and around Coimbatore. So in a way, Coimbatore is actually a feeder market. So we see a lot of business, now that's been borne out. This is our thinking right when we opened the store, that right from Salem, Erode, Tirupur, Ooty, Pollachi or Palakkad on the other side, we would see a lot of business flowing into Coimbatore. Apart from the fact that you would have Coimbatore people experiencing a rather known and familiar brand like RMKV. So I think I would largely agree that a lot of this is got to do with your own understanding of what is the fertility of the particular market and how does it connect as far as your brand is concerned.
Thank you. Girish, some time ago you shared with me saying your Coimbatore cinema does probably one of the top admits in the country. How do you guys achieve this kind of location or a property where you're able to spot the actual opportunity? And could you share with us the mantra behind this?
Yeah, first of all, hello Coimbatore, and thank you very much. The good thing is I don't have to talk on assumptions. We have done it, we are here with you, We have a mall and a cinema which is operating and operating very well. And I just want to thank you that, what kind of potential Coimbatore has. This was the first mall, though we have opened at least 8-9 malls as a group, which opened with 100% occupancy. I mean, I just want to tell you that. It just opened with 100% occupancy, which is unheard of. 100% means 100%, right? And when we look, generally we have been very lucky with the tier 2 cities. So whether it is Chandigarh, Lucknow, Ahmedabad, I think we have seen these cities, maybe when we talk in Delhi and Mumbai, it doesn't look like, there are people, whether they can spend or, there's money there or something. Sorry for my cold because of Holi. Okay. And, but we have seen these cities surprise us, whether it is Chandigarh, whether it's Ahmedabad, and now Coimbatore. We have cinemas in 20 locations, and highest admit is in Coimbatore, which we are very near to 1 lakh, 100,000 people per month we are talking about, which is very, very high in today's time with so much of competition and so many screens. So, we don't have to really explain anything about the potential of Coimbatore. 1 lakh, and I think Reliance Hyper did one of the highest sales ever in a store when they opened here. And McDonald's did amazing sales. Food court is rocking. So I think one of the key areas of when we select these cities is you go into the basics of people, whether they have the money they want to spend, but they're not getting the opportunities. I mean, just look at just 2 years back, a city like Coimbatore, which is doing all this, getting just 2 malls. They should have been there 6 years back, maybe, So these are the cities which have potential, and I think we got to realize, I think we underestimate ourselves as Indians. 20 lakhs, 30 lakhs is the population of maybe capital cities of Europe. So we are as good everywhere.
Go ahead. Now, Mani is a local man. He knows the entire lay of the land. Could you share with us what are the other geographies that you intend expanding to, and what prompts you to get into those geographies?
Well, I'm a small player here. I'm a commodity player, jumped into own branding. I started this brand called Ethicus to value add our organic cotton into a product. So we have a one shop wonder. That too, I would call it a factory outlet. My shop is within my factory premise. So 4 years ago, we launched this brand called Ethicus. And how do we market it? I mean, we didn't have the retail exposure or the courage to go full steam. So what we did was, we looked around, what can we attract people into the small village? I'm just outskirts of Pollachi, a village called Jaminoothukudi. So we had the handlooms, we had a small village temple where firewalking will happen in a season.
Wow.
So today, as we speak today, tomorrow is the firework in our village. So people
is that in your mall as well?
They walk the fire and they have the fire pots in their hands. So we have tiger reserves around us, couple of tiger reserves. There's a coffee growing area plantation. And where I grow the cotton is also an elephant country near the Kabini. So we put together a cotton trail. So we talked to people. We collected about 15 Italians who wanted to see India have a different kind of an exposure. We walked them through the cotton trail, brought them to Pollachi. There are a couple of ashrams in Pollachi which we are also associated with. There is no big facility except for one new resort that has come up. So gave them the exposure of yoga, meditation in the morning, and I took classes on how to gin the cotton, how to separate seeds, and how that cotton can go into yarn. And then my wife took over and explained to them, this is how the traditional weavers are in our village who weave the wonderful saris. And how we do it, then we bring them into our factory and show them how we do those wonderful designs. The whole package became such a huge success, and suddenly we realized people like Donna Karen had come visiting. We had Nicholas Cage's aunt, who is Francis Ford Coppola's wife, come and shopping with us. So suddenly you look another opportunity where you have almost, I would say, about 4 foreigners walk into our campus every week. So that's the kind of thing you can bring. And I think since the Coimbatore has got such a potential, you walk through the high streets of Coimbatore, I can't find a difference between something in Chennai or Bombay or Bangalore and Coimbatore. Where is the Coimbatore story behind all this? So this Coimbatore has got a lot of history and a lot of things that the shop owners can leverage on. If I can think from where I come from, Tipu Sultan had come through Coimbatore and walked to Palakkad. So there is a lot of history. Kotai Medu is Tipu Sultan's own bastion at one point of time. So if the retail people can build an aura around Coimbatore and ensure that everybody talks about it, like if you go to Vatican, church is the core, but everybody is thriving on keeping Vatican up front. Tirupati, the merchandise are the same, but somehow the footfalls have been ensured and everybody is doing a roaring business. Likewise, if Coimbatore can go back to its core strength and start all these retail people start promoting Coimbatore, you have plenty that you can do. Somebody can even do a elephant trail. Elephants come up to 10 kilometers to the border of Coimbatore. So there's something, so much this city can offer. And if these retail strategies can be worked around it, I think this is the best place to be. Thank you.
Now, Nigam, you've been on both sides. You are a retailer and you are a mall developer. And I'm sure you don't do firewalks and all temple trails. But how do you make sure that a mall is more desirable than the high street? Or is it really so? Because you have been on both sides.
Mall, like every other business, small business today is more about relationship. Gone are those days, the branch remembers those days when we used to just, a mall plan would come and every retailer there would be a queue and they would go to a developer saying, I want this space. Today it's different. Today, as a developer, we have to go out, explain them the whole, what we are creating and how they will benefit us. It's like saying that they don't need us, we need them today, you know. So, again, I'll emphasize on the product because, see, on a high street, you don't have much of a parking, there are safety issues. If a mall is a much more secure environment, it provides a lot for your children also. Like we have an entertainment center coming up in Aurangabad, which is almost 40,000 square feet. So typically you would have a cinema which provides an entertainment, but we are putting a lot of emphasis because we realize in the city there's not much entertainment. So it's all about being at the right time at the right place. You have to just give that kind of an ambience. So on a high street, where is the parking today? I mean, every street is either a one-way, no parking, and there is a limitation to the amount of parking that a standalone can offer. So I would say that mall is definitely going to be the future, but saying that this business there's a lot of patience which is required.